The importance of conservation in this area, I would say it's everything. In the very base sense, without land, we have nothing. We don't have a place to live. We don't have food to eat. We don't have places for inspiration or respite or recharge. We won't have air. We won't have water. Without land, it's what holds us together. Palouse Land Trust, we're a nonprofit land conservation organization, and what that means is we get to protect the best of the Palouse. We work with private landowners who are interested in placing protections on their property. That might be someone that has a family farm that has been in their family for generations, and they want to make sure that it doesn't get subdivided or it will always be farmed at the very least. So our staff helps with kind of the legal support and the technical support to make that happen. In our region, and especially out west, land seems so abundant. But in reality, with private land ownership and changing uses, all of these things, the land that we have is constantly at risk. When we are here located on the Palouse with the most fertile dryland farming in the entire world, that's something we should be protecting because it doesn't exist anywhere. We have two properties that we own outright. One is Idler's Rest Nature Preserve, which is right at the base of Moscow Mountain. If you haven't been there, definitely go. It's about 35 acres, really easy trails, fun place to explore, and it's been a public nature preserve since 1968, and we've been in charge of taking care of it since about 2014. So that's probably our crown jewel property in my mind that everyone knows about. I would highly encourage everyone to get outside. That seems so simple, but visiting, whether it's a park or a nature preserve like Idler's Rest, being there and seeing the opportunities and the services that like a nonprofit like the Land Trust provides is a great way to gain appreciation. It's also a great way to volunteer if you're so inclined, and that's another thing that we always encourage folks to do. Hey, if you want to get outside and do something fun and, maybe break a sweat a little bit, come build a trail with us or help us replant a forest, We're just so excited when folks share the work or, are vocal about, hey, yeah, our beautiful vistas and these special places are special. Let's protect them.
The Palouse Conservation District is a local government entity, and we work with landowners and the public to conserve natural resources. Anybody that walks into our door here, a landowner or the public comes in voluntarily. We're a non-regulatory agency, and they walk into the door asking, hey, I have a goal for my property. Maybe I want to add more wildlife habitat to a stream corridor or put in some native plantings. And they'll work with our resource conservation staff to develop a plan that fits within their goals. And as we have funding, we can help fund those projects to put them in on the ground. In this important ecosystem that we live, the Palouse Hills are a very unique landscape, but also very highly erodible. As we came through and started doing more agricultural practices and farming, that does require a lot of working up the soil and really shallow roots for those annual crops. All that soil is sitting right at the top. Water comes through, picks it up, and then takes it. So it's all ending up in our streams or rivers and into the greater watershed. So that's really why the Conservation District was started in this region, was to figure out ways to keep that soil on the landscape. Other sources of concern of pollution that we think about in urban settings, pet waste is a big one. I personally have gotten in a mindset whenever I think of a rain event coming through, it's like this big flush that happens to the system. So even if there's trash like along the road or something, you know, that's all eventually going to end up in that water system, eventually pushed out to our river. So a lot of different sources of pollution, and that has led to Department of Ecology in Washington State determining that the Palouse River, this particularly the South Fork of the Palouse River, is considered a 303D listed stream, which is impaired waterways for different water characteristics, water temperature, pH, and turbidity, so the amount of sediment that's actually in the water. That's a huge effort to try to clean up these waterways. We have water monitoring stations all around the county that's gathering that from all our tributaries. In our district, the South Fork of the Palouse River primarily runs through our district, and all those tributaries are being monitored for their water quality. Getting informed, I think, is the biggest thing, but then finding out ways you can make some action. We have a lot of really passionate, dedicated, caring people here that celebrate the Palouse in all its various forms, from farming to native prairie to public access areas like Idler's Rest or Kamak Butte. Figuring out ways to engage people to think about that ecosystem, and then thinking about the greater picture of how they can help protect our ecosystem. And then hopefully, right, like a lot of students that are coming through here, we can plant some little seed. They may only come back to Pullman once in their life, but hopefully they've taken that to their next journey of wherever they're headed across the world.